Wednesday the 19th of May, and I'm on a high being back from my week's annual leave, which I thoroughly enjoyed. And thank you to Isabel for leading us in our reflection last Wednesday, and also with May, who she interviewed about nursing, as it was International Nurses Day. So today I thought I would also interview someone, and with me today we have Paula, and Paula is our church treasurer. She's the one who looks after all of our finances and the money coming in and the money going out. But I just want to remind you all that when you joined our church, or if you're a member of another church, you promised that in the eyes of God that you would give of your time, of your talents, and of your money. So over the next couple of weeks, we're going to be concentrating on all of those three things. In the church, it's commonly known as stewardship: time, talents, and money. So today I thought, since we had Paula, we would speak to Paula about the money side of our church and various other things I'm going to throw in there. And then in the next couple of weeks, we will talk about time and then about talents as well. So, hello Paula, how are you doing?
I'm not too bad. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Yeah, so thank you for meeting with me today.
You're welcome.
So I'm going to throw some questions at you.
Okay.
And just answer them the best you can. Okay.
I will.
No pressure. So here we go. So what is your role as treasurer within our church?
As treasurer, I'm responsible for all money incoming, outgoing, paying bills, sending out invoices, maintaining the bank balance, just all the money aspects
All the
of
money.
it.
And you also liaise with our accountants as well, don't you?
Yes, yeah. I throughout the year I liaise with accountants, and I also liaise with the different groups within the church, for the property getting renovations done, or the social side who buy all the ingredients to make the lovely food and cakes and things we have for coffee mornings. So yeah, I liaise with a lot of the people throughout.
Great, that's smashing. And now, how many hours are you employed to work for us, Paula?
I'm employed to work 12 hours for the church.
So you're employed for 12 hours a week?
Yep.
And I'm not even going to ask how many hours you do.
No,
Because you certainly give a lot of time to our church on a voluntary basis as well. So we want to thank you for that as well.
Welcome.
So thank you. Now, when you started working for us as our church treasurer, has the job turned out to be what you thought it would be, or are you surprised at the amount of money that goes through our accounts, or just anything about the job that surprised you?
No, I didn't. It wasn't just becoming a treasurer. You became part of the church family, not just myself but my children as well. So yeah, the whole thing surprised me. It amazes me still, I think 5 years later, how much the church actually does. So yeah, there's still things that come up that amaze me. The amount they do in the community, the amount they do for each other, the amount they do for people they don't even know. The connections I have with people around the world as well. All of that still surprises me. So no, the role was not what I expected it to be at all. The generosity of people is still amazing, still to this day. And yeah, it's better than expected.
Well, I'm delighted to hear that one, that's for sure. But that's great. Thank you very much for that. Okay, now, our money situation in the church changed quite drastically when the lockdown originally hit us.
Yes.
So we want to tell us just a wee bit about finance, and also how we managed to control our finance, like furlough and things like that.
Yes, yeah. I'm allowed to say how much was in the bank.
Yeah, oh yes, it's not a secret. Yeah.
When we went into lockdown, our general fund was sitting at about £300, and at that point, very little income, because we couldn't run any church services, we couldn't run any of our little groups, so things that bring in a monthly income for ourselves had stopped. So there has been some support. Our staff have been furloughed, so we've got government support for that. There's been a few grants that have been applied for and received, but the majority, I would say, has been generosity from church members, the community that involved with the church, out with. Again, world members, everybody that we're linked with has helped us get through this pandemic.
Yeah, that's great. And of course, we normally like to have at least 10,000 in our general account.
Oh, yes, yes.
At least that.
Yes.
And we were sitting with 300 at the beginning.
Yes.
Yeah, and of course we are extremely grateful to Dubendorf Church, linked with Sperzenbach in just outside Zurich, for their wonderful donation. And then a few months later, we got our donation from Zuglo Church.
Yes, I'm glad you said that and not me.
I've been practicing all our names. But
yes,
that was great. But we also received a couple of generous donations from a couple of our hall-lets people.
Because they hadn't been in using our facilities and hadn't been able to meet up themselves, we got a generous donation from our instrumental band, who hire a church space every week, and also the Historical Society, who come in each month. So that was nice to know that we're still thought of and involved in that way.
That's it.
Especially a lot of our expenses didn't go down as much as what we would have liked with being closed. Our building insurances were still there. A lot of our general expenses didn't.
And of course we pay quite a considerable amount every month to 121 for our ministry and mission allocation.
Yes, but yes, insurances, rent for the charity shop, things like that. Not a lot of our expenses dropped down as much as we would have liked.
And of course our income dropped as well from the shop.
Oh yes, yes.
Because it was closed for the majority of last year. But of course it's now up and running again. And so we really are doing okay now.
Yes, oh yes, you know, we're in a good position.
We're really grateful to, I think, the big sort of donations we got were from, was it from Angus Council?
Yes,
or via them?
We received a grant through Angus Council for the shop being closed last year, and we also received a grant from the Cora Foundation, which helped with some of our general expenses last year, so they were good. And then we've got a big one this year.
Yeah, we've just received, was it 12,500?
12,500 from the Third Sector Resilience Fund, which is about adapting and thriving to move forward with new restrictions that are in place so that we can open fully, open our church services fully, open our little groups that we run, coffee mornings, anything to have it COVID secure. We got the fund so that we can adapt how the shops run, things like that, to be able to offer our services fully again.
I mean, it's absolutely wonderful. And then on top of that, just yesterday, I received a phone call from Dawn Rennie at Angus Council, and she has helped us out in the past when we have ran events for local families, like days away or activities in the area. And she gave us food vouchers last year, the year before lockdown. And she has been given funding from, I think it's the Scottish Government, to the council, in the form that we can now run something this summer as well.
Yes.
So, I mean, I've been trying to rack my brains here, Paula. So, I mean, we would like to spend the money in Angus if we can, because why not keep it local as best we can? So, I mean, there's places that we could go to, isn't there, with our families this year?
Yes. Some of the feedback I've received were, one was out with Angus, so Blair Drummond Safari Park seems to be the big one. I think you were there recently.
I was there recently and it was fabulous.
But even just helping families get up to locally to Brecon Castle Centre, so if we can run a bus that would take them up there and help them to pay to get in, spend the day there. Charlton Fruit Farm up by Montrose has a great day away, and you can then go picking strawberries and things like that. So yeah, there's a few options.
And there's options also to run things like in the man's gardens.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm hoping.
Yeah, we're hoping to do things locally that you don't actually have to get a bus to, because that's more money again.
Yes.
But we're really grateful to Dawn Rennie, because she has set aside, at least a couple of £1,000 for us, so that we can run activities for the community. So if you're listening to this and you are a member of the community with children in your family, then please get in touch with us and let us know if there's anything in particular that you would like us to run or to do in the local area. We've got ideas of, there's loads of ideas coming in about things in the garden to do.
Yeah.
We won't mention films or bouncy castles. An outdoor cinema sounds good. Anyway, there's lots of ideas there. So that's the kind of things we get involved in. Yeah. And we're really grateful to Dawn Rennie for thinking of us. But the reason I thought I would introduce you to Paula and also explain the money that goes out and money that comes into our church is that many organisations, groups and individuals within our community and further afield understand the great work that church members do, or the church body does in the community and further afield. And because they appreciate what we do, they're happy to donate money to us so that we can further the work that we do. But the majority of our money comes from our members. And I am exceptionally grateful to our members. And as Paula rightly said at the beginning of this little video, she is overwhelmed sometimes with the generosity shown by our members who give their money freely and willingly, and the money goes to people that they have never met and probably will never meet, some of them. And they're just happy that we are doing God's work in the community of Forfar and further afield. So Easton Road is part of the Forfar community, and we're doing our little bit of God's work, of God's mission in this area. But we as a church are so grateful to all the other organisations in and around the Forfar area who also do so much work for our community. And it's about working in partnership, working in tandem, working together, that we can further all the volunteer work, all the good work that is going on in Forfar and much further afield also. So thank you to the community, and thank you to the support of our members. And a huge thank you to Paula, our treasurer, for all that she does in our church, not only with the finance, but of course Paula also runs our baby blether, which has now restarted, and we're having to run, because of still the restrictions in numbers, she has now opted to run an additional morning. So it now runs on a Monday and a Friday morning. So we're very grateful for that. But thank you to everyone who donate their money for doing God's work here in Forfar, and as I said, further afield. And next week, I said, we will be talking about time, which is another part of God's mission and also of the vows that we take when we join our church. God bless everyone.